I recently made the switch from a Pixel 8 Pro to a Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. Now, if you're thinking about making the transition from Pixel to Samsung, I'd like to warn you, you're definitely going to miss your Pixel. At the same time, there are a host of reasons that you might want to make a switch to Samsung. So in today's video, I'm going to outline all of the reasons I switched. I will have 2 follow-up videos about all of the things I love about Samsung and all of the things that I hate about the switch to Samsung. If I'm slurring my words right now, it's because I'm like 1.5 drinks deep, some Glenlivet 12 years. Cheers. I got some notes here. Let's dive in. So, I have been using Google Pixel devices since the Pixel 6. I had a Pixel 6, Pixel 6a, Pixel 7 Pro, Pixel 7a, Pixel 8, and Pixel 8 Pro. And I have loved all of those devices, and I think that Google has made a great product with a great Tensor SoC. I have only had some minor hiccups with the SoC, and in general, I wouldn't say that performance is a reason that I'm switching. Really, the emphasis to why I'm switching from Pixel to Samsung has to do with an upcoming road trip that I will be doing here in the next couple of weeks. And I will actually be documenting a lot of this road trip as I go from north to central Vietnam, and I will be documenting all of the tech I bring with me on the trip to document that trip, as well as continuing to work online, making some videos, and of course, you guys are gonna get a little bit of scenery. With that trip coming up, there was a couple of pain points that I had with my current Pixel 8 Pro, and those are some of the reasons that have brought me here to Samsung. The first is that I have adhesive on the back of my device that is beginning to separate, or it could be a puffy battery. I haven't diagnosed it and I haven't taken the device apart, and I'm probably not going to take the device apart. Needless to say, build quality has been something that has plagued Pixel devices for a while, and the glue coming off the back or battery expanding is definitely a reason for concern. This is amplified by the fact that I might, or I probably will, be riding my motorcycle in rainy weather because I live in a tropical climate and this is rainy season, and thus that lifting adhesive on the back of my device is something that was called into question. The next thing is that overall, as much as I love the camera hardware of Pixel, I love the results that it gets me, the software that Samsung has on the S24 Ultra, I feel like is just a little bit more tailored to a professional like me. It's not all of the way complicated to using Blackmagic camera, and I do enjoy using Blackmagic camera, but sometimes I just want more manual exposure control without having to shoot a super high bitrate using Blackmagic. I feel like for people that are professional creators, Samsung still has a bit of an edge in regards to software for what you can do in the stock camera app of the Pixel, of the Samsung series of devices. Some of that stuff is things like astro portrait photography, being able to have a variable built-in neutral density filter if I want to take long exposure photos, for example. And while Google has some of that built in, at the end of the day, when you're using those long exposure modes, it's still taking a photo and then a video and then kind of trying to stitch those two together. When Samsung does it, they blend, or it seems like they blend more exposures, and thus I think that the Samsung software on the camera front is a little more geared towards someone professional like myself. The second thing is that I needed a device that's going to have more than 128 gigabytes of storage, and this has been a pain point and a constant sticking point of the Pixel series of devices, especially the Pro devices. Because the Pixel 8 Pro and regular Pixel 8 were so close to each other, a lot of people thought that the Pixel 8 Pro should have started with 256 gigabytes of storage, including myself. I have 128 gigabytes on my Pixel 8 Pro, and although I'm not necessarily dealing with running out of storage, I definitely don't have a excess in storage. And I usually have anywhere between 30 to 35 gigabytes of free storage at a time with my Pixel 8 Pro. Having 256 gigabytes of storage is definitely a plus. Another pain point that is kind of bringing me to Team Samsung actually does have to do with Tensor, but it's not about the performance that Tensor necessarily has to offer. In almost every single personal, real world use case, I've never actually had an issue with any of my Tensor SoCs. That said, 2 years ago when I did a bike trip from Saigon to, not Quy when I did a trip in Saigon to southern Vietnam, close to the border with Cambodia, when my device was outside and I was using it to record video, I did get an overheating warning on the device, and occasionally it would stop me from recording video. So this isn't because I was running the device at max tilt, but because Tensor is less powerful, when you're recording video, you are using more of that computational power and you have less thermal headroom. I don't necessarily think I would have had interruptions in recording if I was using a Samsung device at that time. And while I do and I have had Samsung devices give me hot or overheating warnings, it's been rare. And unlike the Pixel that got hot from just being outside, I haven't had anything like that with Samsung, although I might. The last and final reason that I'm switching to Samsung actually has a little bit to do with the accessories that I already have in the Samsung ecosystem. See, I have a Pixel 8 Pro and I have the Pixel Buds, and I found that the interface between the two was really good. I then got to try a Pixel tablet for 48 hours, and to be honest with you, I thought that the Pixel tablet was going to set up a lot more seamlessly, and I thought that the Pixel tablet was going to have kind of, whiskey burp, sorry. And I thought that my Pixel tablet was going to have just kind of more features natively. I have a Samsung tablet, I have a Samsung phone, I haven't set anything else up yet. And today when I went to a coffee shop and I was looking to connect on Wi-Fi to the tablet, it was already connected to Wi-Fi and it already showed my phone as a available hotspot. On this trip that I'm doing, I'll be bringing the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Plus to teach English off of online for the nights that I'm teaching English and to edit some videos in CapCut. I have already seen how well Samsung kind of brings their ecosystem together before I've even gone to set anything up in that ecosystem, and I want to see what a Samsung ecosystem could be like. Maybe get a Samsung Fitness Band and replace my Mi Band 9. Maybe get some Samsung headphones and see what the headphone interface is like. But certainly having a more well-rounded ecosystem of devices is something that Samsung has that unfortunately Google doesn't right now. So if you're looking to make the switch from Pixel to another line of devices, know that there's definitely a lot that I still miss about the Pixel, and that's coming in an upcoming video, while at the same time, I appreciate that Samsung is unique and a different option in the Android world, ecosystem, etc. I hope you guys appreciated this video. I don't think I'm drunk yet. If I seem more drunk than I am, give me a subscribe so I know that you're here till the end of the video.